Nintendo Switch. I have actively avoided talking about this thing on my channel because there's been so many rumors and just false news about it. And I like to wait until the rumors are kind of, washed away and all the facts are out. And now we do have those details because Nintendo just had their final press conference about the Nintendo Switch. And I really want to talk to you guys about the main points and kind of what I find interesting and not so interesting about the Switch. I'll say this right now. I absolutely love Nintendo. Regardless of how you feel about Nintendo, they are the company that saved video games in the 80s. Without Nintendo, there might not even be video games now. And they have made some of the best franchises that have survived decades of gaming. I've owned pretty much every Nintendo console ever made, except for the Virtual Boy. I never got that. I remember wanting it really bad, and I never got it, which I guess it was fine because there were like no games for it anyways. I even love the Wii U that everyone tends to hate on. I bought it day one. I easily have 9 to 10 times the amount of games on my Xbox and my PlayStation than I do on my Wii U. There were just not that many good games, but every time Nintendo came out with a game on the Wii U, it was awesome. There was just not much of them. And I kind of feel like that's a problem we keep running into with Nintendo. So I've been really excited about the Switch. I've been really pumped about this press conference they just had. I was talking to my friends about it and telling them, man, I think Nintendo's holding some secrets back. I think they're going to blow everyone away in this press conference and bring out all the surprises. And if you've been following this channel, you know I never like to sugarcoat things. I hate to say this, but that press conference sucked. I was completely shocked by the whole thing because it was just extremely lackluster. There was nothing mind-blowing about it. I don't feel that there was anything shown yesterday that would convince someone to buy this thing that didn't already want to buy it. We did get the official release date of March 3rd, which is insane because that's only about 7 weeks away. And it's priced at $299.99 in the US, which I think is a fair price. And full disclosure here, I did pre-order mine already for one reason. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Nintendo announced that this is going to be a launch title. Probably 99% of people that buy the Switch on day one are buying it because of this game, and Nintendo knows that. So they've already got my money once they say Zelda's a launch title. I'm not going to go too much into how the Switch works because everyone knows that already. We know it's got the little detachable remotes, it's a portable console. We know this. Nintendo's got all the motion controls and the shaking and the vibrations. That's all gimmicky in my opinion. What I want to focus on is the games because that's what's going to make or break Nintendo. They can have as many gimmicks and different console features as they want, but if there's no good games to play on it, then that defeats the entire purpose of having all these gimmicks. And this is where I think Nintendo just completely dropped the ball with this conference. We got a new Zelda trailer, which looks freaking epic. I mean, that Zelda game, it looks solid. It's a day one console selling purchase, definitely. They also announced new Mario game, Super Mario Odyssey, which also looks really awesome. Unfortunately, it's not a launch title. It comes out holiday 2017. Assuming it doesn't get delayed, which it probably will. But the game looked trippy. It had Mario like in the real world in what looked like New York, so definitely an interesting change. It looks kind of like a mix between, it reminded me of Mario 64, but with like a Super Mario Sunshine kind of style to it. I feel like they needed to have all their big guns ready to go right on launch day. We just have Zelda. Where's the new Metroid? Where's the new Punch-Out? Where's the new F-Zero? Where are all your huge franchises other than Zelda on launch day? As far as I'm concerned, we've got Zelda on launch day and then Mario on Christmas. What's in between? Is this going to be like the Wii U again, where we get one good game and maybe a second good game that year, and then it's just dry for the rest of the year? But I feel like every time they take a step forward, they take 2 steps back by staying with their old ways and just not moving forward. I actually had to do my own research digging on Google to try to figure out how the storage is going to work because of course Nintendo didn't talk about that at all either. The games are going to come in little cartridges. The Switch has a 32 gigs of space built in. Okay, I would get that if there was a USB port on it like the Wii U. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive hooked up to the Wii U with a bunch of games on it. Good. That's great. My Xbox One has a 5 terabyte hard drive hooked up on it. Awesome. In today's day and age, as a gamer, I should not have to worry about my storage capacity. And what did Nintendo do with the Switch? they took a step backward. The Wii U had a USB port where you could plug in any hard drive and format it. The Switch doesn't have that. It's got a slot for an SD card, a micro SD card actually. And SD cards don't offer anywhere near the amount of storage space that an actual hard drive would have. A USB hard drive would have been way more cost effective and a much better idea. If you're a gamer like me that buys every other game that comes out, you just don't have the room to store all these things. So I like to have everything in a big ass hard drive downloaded, so I can just sit my ass down and play it. You know, this might work for people that don't download anything because 32 gigs might be plenty for just your game saves and you can just buy the game cartridges, fine. But for people like me that like to download everything, you're screwed. You gotta buy little micro SD cards, and when that fills up, you just gotta buy more. So depending on the size of these game files, you might have a ton of SD cards that you're struggling not to lose with a bunch of your games stored on there. It's not a forward way of thinking for Nintendo. I don't get it. Another thing too that they've been completely silent on, so I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that the Switch doesn't have it. They don't have any kind of achievement or trophy system, which, you know, a lot of people say that it's stupid, no one should care about that, but I disagree. No, you shouldn't play video games just to unlock achievements or trophies. That's ridiculous. But it does add a reason to continue going back to that game well after you've beaten it. It might be that incentive you have where instead of just going through the story in Zelda and beating it, maybe you want to collect all the treasure chests. Maybe you want to take your time and get as powerful as you can because you want that little fake award next to your profile that says you did it. It's imaginary satisfaction, yes, but it's added value. Xbox 360's had it, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, even Steam with PC games has it. It's just such a basic thing now, why not have it in there? Everyone and their mother knows Nintendo has always had a problem with third-party support. And this is where I'm a little doubtful of the outlook, because everyone's saying that this time around Nintendo has so much third-party support. All the third-party developers are making games for it and they're excited about that. I heard that about the Wii and I heard that about the Wii U before it came out. If you go back to the Wii U, we had Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U. We had Batman Arkham City. We had Assassin's Creed 3. So there were some major third-party games that were on there. The outlook looked amazing. What happened a year or two later? None of those third-party developers were still supporting them. You know what we're getting third-party wise? Skyrim, which everyone that wants to play Skyrim has already played it. If you haven't, they've got the PS4 and the Xbox One remastered versions too. I don't feel that having that on the Switch really adds anything other than having a portable version to play. That's cool for people that do that. We also caught a glimpse of a new Street Fighter game, Ultra Street Fighter 2. All it is the Turbo HD remix of Street Fighter 2 that came out on Xbox 360 and PS3 years ago. It's the same exact game. I'm sorry, they added Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. Really, they just added 2 skins to existing characters, slapped the word Ultra on it, put it on a new console. Suddenly, boom, Switch has a new Street Fighter game. No, don't be fooled. It's a game that's already been released. Speaking of games that have already been released, we're also getting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yes, it's kind of cool that Mario Kart 8 added new characters, new tracks and whatnot, but it's the same game we got on the Wii U. Other than that, all this could have easily been DLC for the Wii U version. Why couldn't they have just made a Mario Kart 9 instead? I don't feel like they deserve a free pass because they're Nintendo. So am I going to recommend that you rush out and pre-order one and get it day one if you can even pre-order one anymore? If you're excited about Zelda, sure. There's really nothing else I could recommend that, oh my god, you got to play this on launch day. Wasn't the whole goal of this thing, and I could be wrong, but wasn't the whole goal to bring back the hardcore gaming market to the Switch? Isn't that the reason there were no kids in that first commercial they had? Isn't that the reason they showed people playing Skyrim? One of the first games they showed was what I thought was a cowboy game. They had 2 cowboys facing off against each other, about to shoot each other. I got real excited because I thought it was a remake. Some people online are saying they thought it was Red Dead Redemption. I never thought that. I thought that was going to be a remake of Wild Gunman. If you don't know what that is, that was an NES game that was based from an arcade, and it was in Back to the Future Part 2. It was a first-person shooter, but it ended up being 1-2 Switch, which I don't even know how to explain this game. You don't need to have a TV to play it. You don't need to even look at the game. You look at your opponent in the eyes. At the end of the day, this is another stupid party game that's gonna end up, by the holiday season, mark my words, by the holiday season this year, you go to Best Buy, that's gonna be in the clearance section for $5, and they're gonna have like 30 of them. Why, Nintendo? Why did you spend so much time talking about 1-2 Switch? Nintendo, that press conference was a huge letdown. I hope the console does really good. I hope you've learned from all these past mistakes with the Wii and the Wii U. I'm gonna get it day one. I'm gonna play Zelda, but I hope there's way more to play between Zelda and Mario Odyssey during the holidays. Hopefully I'm not coming off too negative. I'm just trying to be as honest as possible how lackluster their presentation was. I hope I'm wrong about everything I'm putting down and bashing, but as of right now, I'm excited about Zelda, not much else. But I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my point of view today. If you listened to the end, thank you for hanging out with me while I kind of rant about it. And I'd love to hear your opinions too, so if you have a different opinion than mine, or if you agree, let me know in the comments down below. Leave me a like if you liked the video, and also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, links down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss any of my videos. This is Fabian, I love you guys, I'm out of here.